the thing with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, a part of me is saying, obviously, part 3, WrestleMania in Vegas next year. But another part of me is saying, just sit back and see where they go with this, because at the moment, I'm confused. After everything that's happened at WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania 40, you got the big payoff, Cody Rhodes win, Roman Reigns go away for a minute, and when Roman Reigns come back, you got him teaming with Cody. I don't know. I just got to sit back and watch. I'm not complaining, but I'm just going to sit back and watch and see where they take us. Top of the top, episode 263, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute. And this is just an episode, so some topics you may want to hear about. Thank you for tuning in as well. Podcast available on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe to your preferred platform. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Like this video as well if you're viewing this on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Check out this show. All love is greatly, greatly appreciated. Hope everyone had a safe week, safe weekend. Want to start with sending condolences and prayers out to everyone affected by the recent hurricane. In my area, we were in the path, but overnight, by the time it got near our area, it died down a little bit, and it took a shift. I want to say it moved more east instead of hitting our like direct area. I think we supposed to have like 90 maybe to 100 mile per hour wind, but I think it was only like 30. But I have been seeing people who I grew up with saying, you know, they relocated, they was affected by it, their family members been affected by it. I'm seeing different videos from different parts of the South. I just want to send my prayers. I saw one video, it's like water covered up down near a Wendy's restaurant or something like that. Just a lot of floods going on, so I want to send my prayers and condolences out to everyone affected by that. This week episode, going back into the wrestling world, some things I want to discuss. Of course, this Saturday, we got the Bad Blood event going down in Atlanta. 6 o'clock start time, so I'll be tuned into that. But before I get to Bad Blood, I want to talk about some recent storylines that's been going on Raw and Smackdown that kind of got me shaking my head a little bit or scratching my head. You know, just some things in the wrestling world we accustomed to, different storylines. Then I'm going to talk about the Bad Blood event, predictions, storylines for that. Then to end this episode, I want to talk about the Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon docuseries on Netflix as well. So a lot of things to talk about in the wrestling world. Let's get right on into it. So to start things off, like I said, I want to talk about some things going on in the company in terms of creative. A lot of things are changing around. We got SmackDown now on USA Network. I'm hearing rumors they want to move SmackDown to 3 hours too, by the way. I don't fully agree with that. Shit, I've been saying for the past few years, I think Raw need to go back down to 2 hours. So SmackDown on Friday, depending on what I'm doing, on Friday, I'm already probably not even tuned into the 2 hour show. Now you're going to move it to 3 hours. I understand, though, business is booming. Take advantage of what you need to take advantage of. Overall, we are in that area in time, in the year, I'll say. You got football season. So Monday Night Raw, you got Monday Night Football. This has been going on forever, though. We've been flipping channels between wrestling and football on Monday nights. But now it's like, okay, if it's a game on Monday Night Football that I'm really interested in, I'm more inclined to watch the football game. If it's a Manning cast with Eli and Peyton, I'm more inclined to watch that as well. And with Raw, it's like, okay, I can tune in, but if I need to see what I need to see, I'll just go on Twitter or Instagram or something like that to keep up. SmackDown as well, you got high school football, college football. So within the past month or so, I haven't been all the way locked in, but I mean, you watch wrestling long enough, you can just go on social media. You can figure out, you can put 2 and 2 together, figure out what's going on. But like I said, some storylines that kind of got me a little bit, what are y'all doing? Got me asking questions, what are y'all doing? And even some Bad Blood matches, I'm like, okay, what's next? But first, let's start with these storylines. First, we got the New Day. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. Past few weeks, I feel like maybe a month and a half now, maybe even 2 months, shit. They've been to it with Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross have been trying to put a wedge in between the New Day. New Day legendary tag team, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Big E. Of course, Big E has been sidelined due to injury. His in-ring career may or may not be over with. I know as a competitor, he wants to get back in the ring, but, you know, you got to take safety measures, health measures as well. But we'll see where it goes. But overall, when I saw this, I was okay, you got Karrion Kross, a guy who obviously, I just went to a house show this past weekend, by the way. Great house show. Got Jey Uso was there, Braun Breaker, Karrion Kross, Gunther, Dragunov, Bianca, Jay, Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, Bayley, Nia Jax, Wyatt Six, Chad Gable and his crew as well. But Karrion Kross was there, and he just don't get no reception. It's like, we know you're the bad guy. I don't even want to say the heel. You're the bad guy. You're going to get booed. You're the bad guy. But there's nothing else to it. It's like, it's not like he got a mean streak or nothing like that. And a lot of people just correlate that to when he was in NXT and him and Adam Cole did that promo. And a lot of people say since that promo, I can't remember exactly what Adam Cole said, but it's just like it's never been the same for Karrion Kross since then. Like, he got the physique and everything. He has the look, it seems, to be like a great heel, but he just don't get no reception. So I did find the odds, okay, that's the guy y'all going to have break up the New Day. But it just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, I've been watching wrestling long enough. It don't take this long for a tag team partner to backstab his teammate. Shit, Shawn Michaels did it with one kick. It don't take that long. So then they bring in the guy Odyssey Jones. I'm guessing he was from NXT. He came up. That was you obviously saw in Xavier Woods' face, okay, this is going to be the moment where they possibly break up. Odyssey Jones wasn't even on TV, I feel like, for a month, and he just got wiped away from the roster. He was dropped, and I still really don't know what happened. I don't know if it's something behind the scenes or they did their research on him. I'm not sure, but he just got erased from the company, and he was never spoke about again. So now I'm like, okay, what's going to happen with Xavier Woods and Kofi? And my thing is, Big E, even though in ring he can't participate, he still hosts like the pre-shows for the PLEs. So he's still around in the company. You can bring him out just for the crowd to get that pop. Even though we know he's not wrestling, you can have Kofi and Xavier Woods in the ring arguing and Big E music hit and the fans will go crazy just for that. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to break up the New Day, I mean, I'm not mad at it. They did their work in the tag team division. Kofi Kingston had his big moment with Kofi Mania a couple years ago. Fans are still asking when he's getting his rematch for that. After all that, the lackluster storyline he's had with the belt, then to get beat by Brock Lesnar in like 7 seconds, and he never even sniffed a world championship match ever again, you can tap into that. Xavier Woods have yet to get like a legit singles run, even though he won King of the Ring a couple years ago. So if you want to split up New Day, I'm not mad at it. They did their work in the tag team division, legendary tag team. Wherever you want to play some top 5, top 10, whatever you want to do, all good with that. But I just kept seeing week after week. I'm like, damn, when they going to go all in with breaking up the New Day? And it just never happened. So that's one storyline. Chad Gable and the Wyatt Six, like I said, they was in town over the weekend as well. I just think that just slowed Chad Gable momentum all the way down. Like, you had him with Sammy with the Intercontinental title. I'm like, okay, clearly he can beat Sammy at one of these events. He never beat Sammy for the belt. Then you had this thing with him and Otis. And I feel like they never got a one-on-one match, Chad Gable and Otis. After all that, I feel like they didn't never do a one-on-one match. If they did, it wasn't very memorable, in my opinion. So I can't remember they did a one-on-one match or not. Then you bring in the Wyatt Six, who, face it, it's a Bray Wyatt tribute group. I'm not mad at it, but I do see a ceiling. Like, I don't see Uncle Howdy going up against Gunther or nothing like that. Maybe tag team division, maybe Nikki Cross go for the women's title one day, who knows? But as it's constructed now, it's like, okay, after this thing with Chad Gable and his crew, what's next? You know what I'm saying? So that's that with that storyline. On SmackDown, Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, they've been doing like a best of 7 series, which, like I said, I haven't been tuned all the way in, so I don't know if whoever wins this best of 7 face LA Knight for United States title, because he came out during their match this past Friday. So if it's for that, cool, but at the same time, I feel like it's just going to lead to a triple threat match with Carmelo, Andrade, and LA Knight for the belt. Like I said, when you tell me it's a best of 7 with no implications, I'm just guessing, okay, clearly y'all don't have nothing to do with these two guys right now. They're great in ring. They got great chemistry together. They put on great matches, and you just want to take full advantage of it. But where does this lead to? Because they're at that point. Like I said, you battling for views with football, but yet you're at that point as well to where you fresh off SummerSlam, and you really got from then till Royal Rumble. Yes, we got Survivor Series, but let's be honest. Outside of CM Punk surprise return last year, Survivor Series is just War Games now. And if I had to make a guess, I'm going to say Bloodline is going to be involved with this year's War Games again. But outside of that, that's all I can see with Survivor Series nowadays. So now you got to, I think it's no event, if I'm not mistaken, in December. So you got to go from now all the way to Royal Rumble, and you just going storyline week after week, same thing, and I got football to watch. I'm not all the way tuned in. You know what I'm saying? I can figure out what's going on through social media. It is what it is. Back to Raw real quick. Jey Uso did win the Intercontinental title, his first solo championship as well. He had the roof going crazy. He had the building going crazy this past weekend at the house show. He's very, very popular. I'm looking forward to see what they do with him with the Intercontinental belt. Braun Breaker, he has a bright future ahead of him, so I wasn't surprised to see Jey Uso win that. But that could be like a great, great category to be in. You got Dragunov, you got Bronson Reed, you got Braun Strowman, you got Braun Breaker. Sheamus still in the midst. Is Kaiser on Raw? I think Kaiser's still on Raw as well. You got him in the midst. That Intercontinental title scene could be great moving forward. So I'm really looking forward to that. So overall, in terms of storylines outside of Bad Blood, I haven't really been that intrigued with keeping up with the shows week to week. Like I said, you got football on, but overall, you just give me the same thing week after week after week. I'm only checking for who I'm checking for, and that's probably one, maybe two storylines in the past month or so, to be honest with y'all. But like I said before, we do got Bad Blood. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Now let's talk about Bad Blood going down this Saturday, Atlanta, Georgia, 6 o'clock start time. I will not be in attendance. Like I said, I did go to the house show this past weekend. This weekend, got some things to do in the morning. 3:30, Ohio State, Iowa. That will lead into Bad Blood, so my Saturday is pretty much locked in. But overall, this card, it doesn't move me, really, to be honest with y'all. Like, Liv Real, we've seen it before. Damian Finn, I get it. Nia, Bailey. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. If it ain't no bloody massacre, then I'm cool. And we know Cody, Roman, and the Bloodline, that's going to go all the way to WrestleMania. So with this card, I'm looking to be surprised on more than one occasion. I'm looking to leave this event saying, it exceeded my expectations, because right now, my expectations aren't that high, to be honest. First match, Liv Morgan, champion, going up against Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title. Dominic would be over the ring in a Shark Tank cage. And it goes to what I say about Triple H. He's made it clear. I'm watching on Twitter. I'm seeing different opinions. Whoop-de-whoop. I think they're leaning a little bit too much into the Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero thing when it comes to Dominic. Like, I was watching wrestling heavy when Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero had the Dominic custody ladder match. I get it. You got kids who wasn't around then. They don't understand the callbacks, so they doing their research on that. I understand it, but I'm cool. Dominic, he's grown a lot in just terms of if I, enjoy his character or not. He's grown a lot into his own character at the moment. The fans boo him out the arena. I'm surprised they're still going. I thought that would have been died down by now. The fans are still all in tune with that. But it's like, okay, I got Rhea winning this match. I don't see Rhea going back with Dom. I don't see Rhea going back into the Judgment Day. It goes back to what they were saying last year where when the Bloodline story dies down, we want the Judgment Day storyline to be the next big thing. And I never saw the Judgment Day storyline being that. Like I said, they had that moment where R-Truth got involved. I'm like, okay, I get it's comedic relief, but I can't take it serious or nothing like that. Then you had Damian and Rhea do their own thing. And now the Judgment Day, they got the tag titles with Finn and JD, but after these two matches, I don't know where the Judgment Day goes. I don't know, like, relevancy-wise. Because you got to think, fans still upset Finn Balor never really got a proper World Heavyweight title run. That's one thing. But in terms of Rhea and Liv, I do have Rhea winning. But I've been cool on this feud. I'm cool on it now. It's like, okay, I understand it. What's next? You know what I'm saying? What's next? That's my thing. Going to Damian Priest, Finn Balor. As much as I like Finn, I think Damian Priest. I mean, you got the, what they call them, the Terror Twins, Rhea and Damian. They got a huge pop as well over the weekend at the house show. With the momentum they got right now, I don't think you can afford for them two to lose. It would be dope to have Rhea have the belt, then Damian somehow, some way get back into the picture with Gunther or something like that, or maybe go to the Intercontinental title because you do got this thing they teasing with Rhea and Jey Uso as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea, possibly set up Jey Uso to get beat by Damian down the line. That would be dope to see. But in terms of the Judgment Day overall, I'm very intrigued to see where they go from here. Because it was like a foregone conclusion. If not Rhea was the leader, then Damian Priest was. And now you got Finn, who will be the tag team champion still for the moment. I'm intrigued to see where they go with Judgment Day, but I got Rhea Ripley beating Liv Morgan. I got Damian Priest defeating Finn Balor. Next up, SmackDown Women's title, Nia Jax going up against Bayley. Once again, the story is still for me, Nia Jax the champion, her partner Tiffany Stratton, women's briefcase holder, Money in the Bank briefcase holder. When would they let that collide? They poking little holes in it right now, but I think by the time Survivor Series come, we should have that. If not a surprise cash in, then set up a match. Be like, I want to see you at Survivor Series. Who knows? Bad Blood may get something going. But that's the main storyline with this. In terms of Bayley, I see something with her and Naomi happen. I don't know if they're going for the tag titles eventually or what, or they're going to feud. Because they too cordial right now. They're too friendly with each other. Are they going to form a tag team and go after Bianca and Jade? Or are they going to just wrestle each other eventually? I'm intrigued to see where they go with that. But I got Nia Jax winning. Tiffany Stratton cash in. I'm not sure it's going to happen now, but that's the story, I think, obviously, with the Nia Jax title reign right now. Next match, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns going up against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. The thing with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, a part of me is saying, obviously, Part 3, WrestleMania in Vegas next year. But another part of me is saying, just sit back and see where they go with this because at the moment, I'm confused. After everything that's happened at WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania 40, you got the big payoff, Cody Rhodes win, Roman Reigns go away for a minute, and when Roman Reigns come back, you got him teaming with Cody. I don't know. I just got to sit back and watch. I'm not complaining, but I'm just going to sit back and watch and see where they take us. My mind is telling me, obviously, Part 3, rubber match, WrestleMania in Vegas. Another part of me is saying it's a lot of different moving pieces now with this bloodline story. I'm surprised they still got this thing going. I'm not mad at it, but I am surprised. He still got Jimmy Uso need to come back. Still got Paul Heyman need to come back. Still got to see if they're going to bring Jey Uso into the mix. You got to see if they're going to bring Sami Zayn into the mix. And it's a lot more damn cousins out there they can bring into the mix as well. So we just got to sit back and see what happens with this. Personally, if it's anything in the past few weeks, people was telling me, Tyler, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. Was the Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes promo when they was at the Georgia Tech field. It was cool, but I'm like, okay, we had the same situation with Jey Uso. He went to Raw. Y'all can't trust him. You can't trust him. Look what he did for the past few years. You can't trust him. You can't trust him. It's the same thing with Roman. It's like, Cody's not gonna fight this. Like he said, I want to break away from the bloodline storyline, which a lot of fans agree with. Like, is this whole run in the WWE is about to be the Seth Rollins feud and the bloodline feud? It's like, no matter how I feel about him, Cody got the kids. He got the kids. So you can do whatever you want with him in that part. But you got adults like me is looking like, damn, man, like, you could have gave me Roman versus Jacob Fatu or something like that. Roman versus Solo, damn near. I would have been like, all right, bet. But for him to team with Cody after all they've been through, and it's just like, okay, I need to see some type of friction in the match. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to leave the match while it's going on, leave them in a handicap match, something, a chair shot to the back. Something got to happen in this match to make me be like, okay, cool. I don't need them two to be buddy-buddy like Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes was. They don't need to be buddy-buddy. And my hot take is, because I'm tired of Solo Sikoa being in the midst, let Jacob Fatu get the pinfall victory over Roman or Cody. That's what I want to see at Bad Blood. Jacob Fatu pin one of them. So I'm going with the Bloodline in this match. I'm going with the Bloodline. For one, I think there's going to be too much friction with Cody and Roman, but I want to see Jacob Fatu get that pinfall victory over somebody. That would be a statement. That would make me be like, oh, okay. Because you can make the argument, Jacob Fatu, if it weren't for Jacob Fatu, that Bloodline be stale. With Solo and the two the tag team champions, that would be stale without Jacob Fatu. So that's what I want to see. But overall, when it comes to this Bloodline storyline overall, my advice to y'all is going to WrestleMania, whether we like it or not. And this like April 20th, 21st. Ain't like it's April 3rd or nothing like that. So we got to sit back and just let it play out. The Rock schedule, don't forget about The Rock. Don't forget about The Rock. Shit, don't forget about John Cena. His retirement thing. I think, excuse me. I think John Cena's going to be involved some way, somehow. Maybe for a match. I don't know about his whole retirement run, but at least for one match, he's going to be involved with this as well. We just got to wait and see how it play out. Will we get another shocking return at Survivor Series eventually? Shit, at Bad Blood even? Who knows? We'll see. And lastly, Hell in a Cell, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. It's been talks. They've been going back and forth. Should this match main event Bad Blood, or should a Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns Bloodline match main event Bad Blood? Personally, I think Hell in a Cell should main event Bad Blood. If I'm not mistaken, and please somebody fact check me on this, wasn't the Hell in a Cell match Shawn Michaels Undertaker when Kane first debuted? Wasn't that at Bad Blood? I know King of the Ring was Undertaker, man. I know that was King of the Ring. And I think Undertaker had some more with probably Brock Lesnar, maybe Triple H as well at Bad Blood, if I'm not mistaken. Bad Blood has been known to have Hell in a Cell matches, is what I'm saying. So I think this Hell in a Cell match should main event it. Obviously, I think this is the last CM Punk Drew McIntyre match. I hope it is. I thought the one at SummerSlam was going to be the last match, but obviously they killing time, it seems, till we get the CM Punk Seth Rollins situation. I'm surprised Seth Rollins was taken out by Bronson Reed. Maybe he just needed more time off. Who knows? But overall, it can go either way in my opinion, this Hell in a Cell match. I want to say Drew McIntyre, honestly, but with both of these guys, go back to the question, what's next? What's next? Bronson Reed, him and Braun Strowman been beefing. Do you get Bronson Reed and Drew McIntyre, Bronson Reed, CM Punk? Do you add whoever win? Do they go for Jey Uso title? Do they go for Gunther title? I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I haven't really seen enough of CM Punk, I feel like, in-ring wise. I don't know if it's just me or am I tripping? I feel like I haven't seen enough of CM Punk in-ring since he's returned to say he can win this match, then go on to do this and go on to do that. Outside of Seth Rollins, I really don't know what CM Punk can do. And I'm being all the way honest with y'all. Like, yes, Drew McIntyre, he did a lot. He done the Sheamus feud already. He done the Gunther feud already. I feel like he done something with Jey Uso already. But with CM Punk, it's like I haven't seen enough of him to know, like, okay, he can go up against a Bronson Reed. He can go up against a Dragunov or Kaiser or somebody like that. And then you got to think, CM Punk, he is CM Punk. Politics and all that. I don't want to fight him. Who knows? But I'm very intrigued to see where they go with these two guys afterwards. But I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre, man. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. I need a bloody massacre. I doubt it happens, but I need a good Hell in a Cell, man. Let's just say that. I need a good Hell in a Cell match with these two. They done a great job. Like I said numerous times, they done a great job with this feud, building it, making it legit. But I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. So my predictions for Bad Blood, Liv Morgan going up against Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title with Dominic hanging above the ring in a cage. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley. Damian Priest going up against Finn Balor. I'm going with Damian Priest. Nia Jax, Bayley, SmackDown Women's title. I'm going with Nia Jax. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns going up against Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa of the Bloodline. I'm going with the Bloodline, and I'm going with Jacob Fatu getting the pinfall victory. And lastly, Hell in a Cell match, CM Punk going up against Drew McIntyre. I'm going with Drew McIntyre. Now, to wrap up this episode, I want to talk about the Vince McMahon documentary, Mr. McMahon, on Netflix. 6-episode docuseries. If you're a wrestling fan, check it out. If you're not a wrestling fan and always wonder why the hell Tyler always talking about wrestling, I suggest you check it out as well. Now, it has been some drama with this documentary in terms of just being a wrestling fan. One side, you got people who grew up watching wrestling, love wrestling, just got introduced to wrestling, whatever. They watching it. It's bringing back nostalgic memories of like Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, John Cena. All those superstars, WCW, ECW, all the stuff we love about wrestling. Then you got another side who wanted more information on the current state of Vince McMahon lawsuits with the abuse accusations going on. They wanted more of the R. Kelly documentary approach where you got women coming on camera telling they experiences with Vince and all that. And you got people like me in the middle who are just like, okay, I want to see a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? I can't deny the fact Vince McMahon is creepy. Vince McMahon got some issues. Vince McMahon might need to be locked up in a jail cell somewhere. But at the same time, this is the guy who gave us a lot of memories from our childhood. So it's an ego trip. The whole thing an ego trip. Like as much as good stuff we seeing and, ooh, I remember the Rock and Stone Cold. We like, yeah, but fam, we waiting on the shit to start. We waiting on, okay, let's talk about 2022, these accusations and all that going on. And even when you're talking about Attitude Era, where everybody was tuned in, you had Sable going through her lawsuit situation saying Vince McMahon abused her and all that. You bring in Trish Stratus saying Vince McMahon wanted me to do some kind of weird storyline. I denied it. So after that, I lost my belt. You got the Chris Benoit situation. You got the Owen Hart situation. Montreal Screwjob, of course. It's just a look into the mind of Vince McMahon. This is really the first time I think we saw Vince McMahon talk about numerous occasions on camera. Like, we hear about Bret Hart, Montreal Screwjob. We heard that for years. We know all about that. We hear about WCW, Ted Turner. But when we talk about the Sable incident, the Ashley situation and all that, it get kind of tricky. And I want to talk about episode 5. Episode 5 is when they talk about the family being brought in as on-screen personalities and all that. And just Vince McMahon mind doing anything for the money, doing anything for the viewership, technically cheating on his wife on national television, verbally and physically abusing his kids, and was like, nah, but look at our ratings, though. Look at the money we was bringing in because of these storylines. And you even saw Stephanie would be like, yeah, he asked me to do some type of weird storylines to where I don't want to speak on it on camera, but I denied doing it. Like, he wanted to go even further into, you know, family dynamics, quote unquote. So Vince, as much as memories and great memories we got of wrestling, it comes from the mind of somebody who is kind of sick in the head. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, I can't say I was not entertained. I was very entertained with the documentary. It did what it needed to do. For the people who wanted other women to come on camera and whoop-de-whoop, fam, you don't see the Sable storyline. You don't see the Ashley storyline. You don't see how he's responding to these different accusations on camera. What new news to me was, I want to say in the early 90s, they said they had the first women's referee. She went on like a daytime television show talking about Vince abuse against her and all that. And you got people on the documentary saying, hey, y'all know the early 90s, we didn't care nothing about that. We watching Jerry Springer and all that. So people have been trying to get this issue out for a long time. But, hey, man, that man a billionaire. He know how to give you a little change and, hey, hush up money. It's a very good documentary. I will give them that. It's a Netflix documentary about Vince McMahon. I know a lot of people wanted the dark side of the ring approach. I know. I wouldn't have been mad at that. But with Raw coming to Netflix soon, y'all know they got to take it a little bit easy. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part, like you got Undertaker, you got Stone Cold, you got The Rock. They talking about Vince as this father figure sort of thing, you know what I'm saying? But then you got guys like CM Punk who said in numerous interviews, like, yo, I had to tell Vince, I got a daddy already. Not to say these other men don't, but CM Punk was like, I always made it clear with Vince, like, bro, you my boss. I don't need you to talk to me about certain stuff. I got a daddy I can talk to about that. You my boss. We here to do business together. So I recommend you watch it. If you're a fan of wrestling, not a fan of wrestling, was into it when Stone Cold then was there, then you stopped watching it or whatever, watch it. I always tell people, because they're like, why you watch wrestling? It's fake. I be like, one, it's $1 billion company. I'm following the money, for one. The in-ring is the in-ring. Even with that, you have some injuries and all that, but you ain't about to sit and tell me I shouldn't be watching a company that's making billions of dollars. That's kind of odd. I always tell people that. I was like, fam, this is $1 billion company. Why wouldn't I pay attention to what they doing? So that's one. And what else I was about to say? It was another great point I had. Oh, yeah, I tell people all the time, like, you watching shows about women throwing drinks on each other. Why I can't watch this? I always say that as well. There was another point I was about to make. Damn it, I forgot. But all in all, y'all check it out. It's a great documentary, Mr. McMahon on Netflix. It gets dark, though. It gets dark. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. As much as people claim they love to watch serial killer documentaries and movies about people killing, I'm like, wrestling is one of the most darkest business there is. Just go on YouTube and watch Chris Benoit Dark Side of the Ring episodes. It's 2 of them. Wrestling gets very dark. Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, Dynamite Kid, British Bulldog. I always say British Bulldog had one of the greatest matches ever against Bret Hart at that SummerSlam. And he admitted that when the bell rung, he told Bret Hart, bro, you got to lead this match. I was on a crack binge last night. I don't remember nothing we went over. Please lead this match. And that's one of the greatest matches ever. That always stuck with me. This man admitted, I was on crack all last night. I don't remember nothing we went over. Please, Bret Hart, lead me in this match. And Bret Hart and British Bulldog put on a clinic. One of the greatest matches ever. Overseas at that. With family members in attendance. The family members came in the ring after the match. Not knowing that man was doped up on crack the night before. And he won the belt. Man, y'all better leave me alone talking about wrestling, man. Let me watch what I watch. And y'all sit back and enjoy me talking about it. But this has been episode 263 of Stash House Podcast. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Go out, have a great work week, have a great school week. Be mindful of your surroundings, drink plenty of water, and just be blessed all around. Like I said, it was people affected by the hurricane, lost power, lost their homes, their memories, all that. People passed away. Condolences to their family and friends as well. Overall, man, just be thankful. If it's one thing I want to tell y'all, just be thankful overall. Keep me in your prayers. I'll do the same for y'all. Salute.